that is right. Just a reminder that DAZN brings you over 185 fights a year and an undisputed schedule featuring stars like Dave Allen, Josh Boatse, Jaron Ennis, Nathaniel Collins, and many, many more. Sign up now at DAZN.com/boxing. Of course, we're talking boxing this Thursday lunchtime, as we always do, in the company of Spencer Oliver. We've been Jim White and Simon Jordan live on talkSPORT. Now, here's the thing, Spence. We look forward to this one. Lewis Crocker claimed the vacant IBF at welterweight title with a split decision win against Paddy Donovan at Windsor Park, Belfast, at the weekend. It was in some ways a night of vindication for Lewis in this rematch, having won the first meeting between the pair back in March by disqualification. And as if by magic, Lewis Crocker is here in studio with Simon, Spencer and myself. Lewis, good afternoon to you. The dust is settled. How do you reflect on Saturday night?
Oh, what a night Saturday night was, mate. Every day that I wake up, mate, I just, like, I'm a world champion, do you know what I mean? It's like everything I ever dreamed of as a kid, and everything's happening now, and to do it in Belfast at Windsor Park as a big underdog, it's just everything about it was amazing. The first All-Irish world title fight as well. Do you know what I mean? So to make history on Saturday means everything to me.
Windsor Park, he's right. I mean, what did that mean to you?
Oh, mate, like, I remember I was warming up and I could see, like, there was a drone shot of the stadium. And it's like, this is happening right now. Do you know what I mean? And going out there to the fans and everyone's singing. It was just, like, the night couldn't have been any better.
So you was on the undercard, actually, of Cole Frampton some 7 years before that, right, at Windsor Park, and that was the last time they actually had a fight there. For you to be topping the bill there must have been some buzz, man.
Oh, mate, like, that's the first world title fight at Windsor Park as well, do you know what I mean? So I think it was only my sixth fight or something that time round. So, like, it's crazy because it felt like just yesterday that I was doing that fight, and I fought for a world title there now, so it's crazy how time flies.
It was incredible, the amount of controversy surrounding that first fight, with you throwing that shot and the bell ringing, getting hit with that shot as the bell rang, and, you know, Donovan getting disqualified. It called for a rematch. It made it bigger. It made it better. And you changed tactics there. Billy Nelson's a great boxing student, and you changed tactics. You was holding back more. You was catching the more eye-catching punches, but he was delivering more, and we ended up with controversy again with some of the scoring there.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, if you look at the fight, you know, I knocked Donovan down twice. There's not a mark on me. I landed the more cleaner shots, the more hurtful shots, and the judge has seen that. Do you know what I mean?
But that's what I was telling the guys in there. I said it's what you go for. It comes down to subjective scoring, what the judge likes, because you was landing the eye-catching shots and the knockdown in the third round and the fifth round. The fifth round, the bell actually saved him. He was gone then, to be fair. The bell couldn't have come at a better time. But he was landing more volume, and it's what you go for, isn't it? And I think that's what it comes down to here. So you're always going to have controversy surrounding a contest that goes that way.
Of course, do you know what I mean? It's like, and people can have their opinions anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But, do you know what I mean? And everyone has one. But at the end of the day, the people who matter most are the ones with the best seats in the house, and they scored it in favour of me. And, you know, just hearing that, and, like, you seen there was a close fight. Do you know what I mean? Like just when I was here, 114, 113. Do you know, it was that close of a fight at the end, but just here in Belfast, Northern Ireland, it meant everything to me.
How did you approach the second fight, Lewis? Because you went into the first fight as the favourite. Most people felt that Paddy Donovan, me included, was winning that fight, and most people, including myself and Spencer, picked Paddy Donovan to win the second fight. Ooh. So how? And Spencer actually thinks he did. Whether he's going to say it now or not is a different matter.
You thought?
I thought he'd done enough in the second. That's what I said to you.
But my question was, having gone into the first fight as the favourite, all the ramifications of the first fight, going into the second fight now with people expecting Paddy Donovan, us included, what was your mental approach to that? What was your thinking behind the way you approached the fights?
Look, you could see in the first fight that what I was doing wasn't working whatsoever, so we had to change tactics, like, completely. Donovan's a world-class fighter, and there's no doubt that he will be world champion one day. So I had to make him miss. And, like, who would have thought? Nobody would have thought I'd be the one who was countering Donovan. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so I just had to change things, and I knew he was a far better fighter than what I showed the first time round. And I showed that on Saturday.
Was he surprised, Lewis, that you changed tactics? So
definitely. You know,
vividly?
Like, he was confident when we went to touch gloves, and he says no excuses. You know, I was at the start, but as soon as them knockdowns happened, like, I could see that the scar on his face. You know, that was a different fight. So it was. It was a completely different fight. And you seen in the corner, like they were saying, you need this round to him. Do you know what I mean? And if there was like 10 seconds left on that bell in the fifth, I'd have put him out of there.
But that's not easy to do, to change tactics like that, because you're known as a certain sort of fight that comes forward, you're aggressive, very heavy-handed, as we saw in that fight and the first fight as well. But to change tactics like that, it's not an easy thing for a boxer to do, and like, because you come with a totally different game plan that probably surprised him, because the rounds that you did nail him in the third and especially in the fifth when he went over, that was a heavy knockdown. You was taking your time, you was waiting for the opportunity. He come forward throwing the shots, momentarily switched off, and you nailed him on it. But that was all the game plan, right? And that's not easy.
No, it's not easy, and that's the thing as well. Like people say, is like, you know, like you had him hurt. Why didn't you go out in the sixth? But I was like, I want to stay disciplined, so it did. And I was like, imagine I go out in the sixth and I go to put it on him, clash of heads, you get caught. You know, it was like things are going right. So I stuck to my game plan, and it came out well.
Did you feel like you was winning the fight, like going through there? Or you obviously knew it was close, but did you feel like you was always winning the fight?
Yeah, for sure. Like I knew, like when I was in there, like if he was hitting me 5 times, but they were missing their hitting the shoulder thing, when I was hitting him, it was flush. Do you know what I mean? And like, so I was assuming there was winning the rounds, and I just knew, like, with obviously 2 knockdowns, it puts me 4 rounds up no matter what.
And you're totally unmarked, as you say.
Unmarked, like
I'm sitting right beside you in the studio, Lewis.
Yeah, completely.
But it's a testament, isn't it? It's a testament to Lewis that he changed the style he thought was fighting.
Absolutely.
It shows the length and breadth of the quality of the fighter.
So you're a world champion now, but the 7-year journey, just touch on that for me. What's that been like?
Oh, ups and downs, like the whole way. Like you could see, I always say, like, everything's meant to happen for a reason, and just like the stars aligned, like Jaron Ennis moving up, like just everything happening at that moment. And I was off for like a year and a half. Like I hadn't had a fight in a year and a half, like 2 years ago, but like before going over like to see Billy and stuff. So just to be vindicated now, you know what I mean? And just like all the hard work paying off, it's great.
Did you ever doubt yourself that you might not get to where you've got to today?
No, because I think that's the only thing that kept me in boxing. I was like, never give up on the dream. Like no matter, like I was working for Vodafone, like about 5 years ago, you know, like while boxing as well, because like you need to put money, you need to get money and stuff. So it's just, that was the thing. Always never give up on the dream, and I'm glad I paid off.
I was speaking to somebody last night that you know well, and he was saying Conor Benn. He'd love Conor Benn. Would you?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think domestically that's the biggest fight you can make. I never had any bargaining chip to get that fight, but now I'm a world champion now, so we're both a matchroom, both are 2 exciting fighters, and I think it's a great fight to make.
I tell you what, guys, we're going to hit a quick break. We'll come back, and Lewis, stay with us, because we'll take you right through until 1 o'clock. Stay with us. My goodness, there's a lot of love out there for this fella, Lewis Crocker, in studio with Spencer, Simon and myself. Lewis claimed the vacant IBF at welterweight title with a split decision over Paddy Donovan at Windsor Park, Belfast at the weekend. And now we're discussing what might be next for Lewis. And Simon, a lot of nice messages coming in saying this fella has got a big future.
Oh, absolutely.
And
we're all thrilled for him because we can see what it means to him. I just got a text from Paul Smith, who I really like and do talk boxing with me and Spencer. And he just said plenty of us wrote Lewis off after the first fight. They got it spot on tactically, and he made a lot of us eat our words. Delighted for him. And that's the overall. And we're sitting across the studio from him, looking at him, at how much it means to him, and what it will mean to him going forward. And we're thrilled for him as well.
Yeah,
so,
indeed.
Great.
In the passing, do you guys, as top fighters, do you have complete faith, Lewis, in the judging in your sport? Well, complete faith.
Yeah, listen, you don't know what happens in boxing. Do you know what I mean? It's like you've seen like a lot of decisions go either way and stuff, but try not to think about that and just try and focus on yourself.
I mean, on Saturday night when the fight's over, before the announcement, do you think, I think I've done enough? I've done enough, have I? I mean, do you question yourself?
Of course, like you don't know what's going to happen, and like especially like over 12 rounds, you know, and like what you just don't know.
And also, Jim, with some of the scoring that we see today, and you go to a fight that goes close like that, and you go it's subjective one way or the other, you go, it's all about the boxing gods and what one's with you, because it is one of those. You just go like, you don't know when it goes out. As a fighter, you get in there and you sort of think, yeah, I'm winning the rounds, I'm just nicking the rounds, whatever, but you just don't know when it's like that.
I suppose the controversy of the first fight might have kept, I don't want to use the expression loosely, but kept the judging honest in terms of there was so much controversy in the first fight that they were going to be very, very focused on making sure that there wasn't any controversy on the second fight. And with the advent of a world title being strapped into it as well, But IBF, welterweight champion of the world.
Yeah, it's a big one, mate.
great to
Big
hear.
one.
Absolutely.
I bet it sounds great. We spoke briefly there going into the break about Conor Benn. There's a number of names on the list. Before we get Lewis's take on it, you two know the fight game inside out. What do you see next for Lewis
Well, if you
on this journey, Spencer?
if you're talking about
money.
voluntary,
Some money, yeah.
where the money goes.
Show us the money.
You got people like Jack Catterall, Echo Esserman, who
Yep.
just come off a good victory over Josh Taylor. Go, they're domestic fights that could happen for the world title and would be easy to make. Obviously,
Marius, get another belt.
we have Mario Barrios. He's the WBC champ. You know, Brian Norman Jr., he's the WBO champ. There's a world of opportunity. Teofimo Lopez. You've got Devin Haney. There's big names there. And this guy now, he's got a target on his back. Everyone wants him. He's now the man to beat because he's got that strap. And when you've got the strap, then he should be able to cash in with that and hopefully get the victories and go on and secure a beautiful future for him and his family.
I mean, these are big names that Spencer's reeling off, aren't they?
Sure. He's a world champion. So he's in that company. So it's important that he's guided the right way, looked after the right way. If he's got a voluntary next, this should be the voluntary on his terms. Nick Bull had a voluntary, came back to Anfield, took the fight. People said, oh, okay, it's a voluntary and it's not that level. Well, he has taken hold of his own career opportunity and destiny. And it's now those around him have got to guide him properly and look after him and make sure he gets the right fights at the right time for the right money and gets paid and then recognised at the same time. If he gets other belts along the way, fabulous. But the one thing he's got, I mean, this is a strap that I went and saw that Lloyd Hunnigan go and win off Donald Curry, in terms of that, that sort of level of performance. These are the sort of iconic names that are coming out in this weight class. This is a brilliant weight class, and he's a bona fide world champion. And I look forward to him really doing well for himself.
They're all talking about you.
That's it.
We're all talking about you. So what do you think?
Yeah, like
You confident about anybody?
of course, yeah. And you mentioned like you've so many big names there. Like you give your Teo Fios and then your Brian Garcias and Devin Haney's, and I'm looking at the other champions as well. You know, your Brian Normans, you have your Barrios, and then we're talking about Ben as well. So it's like there's huge opportunities there, like life-changing opportunities there. Like, and it's just nice to be on that pedestal now with them names. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Barrios is a nice fight, mate. WBC
Absolutely.
strap, and I look at that, and I look at the
why I said it.
styles, and I
I
go,
know, mate. Yeah.
I'm fancying you in that one, mate. That
Yeah.
would be like, and then unifications. You go, wow, the whole thing's come. What an opportunity, man!
For
Yeah.
sure.
Lewis, we're talking about Conor Benn going in again against Chris Eubank Jr. What do you make of it all? They had their presser again last night, and it all starts again. It's some circus, isn't it?
It's crazy. Like watching the first fight delivered on every aspect. So it did the build up, the fight. It was senior.
Tell
coming out.
Simon that, mate.
Well, as a fan for me, it did. But I was at the press conference yesterday, and it was there. It was interesting. So I'm looking forward to the next one.
What do you make of Conor Benn, the fighter?
It's a great fighter. You know, tough, ruthless. You know, like you could see it like in his persona. So, but listen, Conor's will always say good things about me, so I can't disrespect him.
Do you think he can get victory this time? Do you think he's got it?
Yeah, I think he could get victory. Yeah.
Who do you think starts favourite?
Eubank. I thought I had Eubank win the fight last time, so I did.
Yeah.
I just think the weight maybe is too big, but I mean, like the last fight take too much out of Eubank as well. Do you know what I mean? He's getting older as well, and you've the rehydration and everything with that. So it's an interesting one.
What did you think of that first fight at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? Was it certainly one of the top 3 in the year?
Do you not agree? No.
Ignore them, Lewis. Look at me, mate.
Fury.
What did you think? Was it up there? Was it top 3?
I loved it. So it did. Well, personally, I loved it. So it did. Yeah, it was the top 3 for me for sure.
We got there. Well done.
Fighting Witherspoons.
It certainly was amongst the top 3 for many people, many fight fans around the country. Lewis, before we go, want to finish today. Obviously, it's a somewhat sad note because it was very sad news earlier in the week when the news came through, the announcement of the death of the former world champion Ricky Hatton at the age of 46. And everybody in the fight game, everybody in the country was hit hard by this because he's such a popular figure. And you were amongst them. What was your reaction? Because he's been a big influence on you, has he?
Of course, like Ricky Hatton was the first like idol of mine boxing. Like I always remember like watching him, and it was just from a kid, like I knew like that's a man of the people. Do you know what I mean? That's someone like who everyone gets behind, and Houghton was my favorite fighter. Like I used to have a dog, and I named him Houghton. Like that's how much I love this guy. Do you know what I mean? So an absolute terrible loss to the boxing community, and rest in peace. Like
It is one of those, Spencer, isn't it? That everyone has been hit so hard by this because of the popularity of the man.
It's a hard pill to swallow for sure. Like no one expected it. No one saw it coming. That was the tough thing about it. We know that he was struggling with mental health. He had that issue over the years, but no one saw this coming. And I think the boxing world, especially, were devastated. They're numb by it, and we saw that at the press conference last night. I think that was the first time I've been in the boxing community sort of coming together, and there was a weird, subdued sort of atmosphere around it. Yeah, we've got this great rematch going on, but it felt more about Ricky Hatton really there, and I think even with the fighters as well. So yeah, it was a tough loss, man. It really is.
I mean, you guys, we should finish with you, Spencer, and you, Lewis. You guys know what it's like to go in the ring. How will you remember? I'll ask you first, Lewis. How will you remember Ricky Hatton?
I will always remember Ricky Hatton with the fans, just the love, the love that everyone had for Ricky Hatton was insane, and it'll always be like that.
And I think that, Ricky Hatton's style, he fought with his heart on his sleeve. He delivered. He was a fan favourite. He was the kid from the council estate, and people could relate to him, and I think that's why he took 30,000 fans over to see him box Mayweather. He took 20,000 fans over to America to see him box Pacquiao, 10,000, against Luis Castillo. And you look at that and you go, no one else is ever going to do that again. And the reason for that is because he was the kid next door. When he boxed Costa Tzu in 2005, you got to say, he probably had a pint with everyone that was actually in that place because that was that kid. So
that was a fight, Simon, wasn't it?
I went to
Costa
it.
Tzu.
Yeah, I went to it, yeah.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, I sat next to the late Dean Powell, who was a great boxing observer. And at the time, Frank Maloney was sitting in front of me, and I watched the fight. The atmosphere was fabulous. The performance was outstanding. He caught Costa Tzu at the right time. But you never forget the reaction of him and Billy Graham, do you?
No.
In terms of rolling around the canvas. And it's a very sad loss. He is a true British great fighter, a British icon, a great world-level fighter, even in the losses to Pacquiao. The Pacquiao one, I think he took harder. The Mayweather one, he didn't like Mayweather because he didn't like Mayweather's attitude. And I remember doing the podcast with him up front, and he took the mickey out of Mayweather about how many people would want a photograph of him and his watch, Whereas I can go and people want to see me and want to speak to me because they can relate to me.
Yeah.
It's a tragic loss to a great fighter.
Ricky Hatton. As for you, Mr. Crocker, when will we see you again? In the ring, I mean.
Yeah. So I'll have a talk with Eddie, matchroom, my manager and stuff. But as I said earlier, I don't have a mark on me, and I'm ready to go again. So I am. So get the talks first, but probably sooner than you think.
You're a world champion. Congratulations, Lewis.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much for being with us. Lewis Crocker, who took it at the weekend, the vacant IBF welterweight title. Split decision, but Lewis won it. Spencer, I thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I might be in the audience tonight. You might hear me heckling you at the London
There is a
Palladium.
discerning clientele that we require in the Palladium. You are not one of them.
I see.
Please be in the audience, Jim. We need someone.
I know, he's on the stage. Can you believe it? Neil Warnock in the London Palladium. My goodness, what is selling these days? Michael Duff, I'm reliably informed, is set to be named the new Wickham manager. Well done to you, Michael. We're coming up to 1 o'clock.